Clinton Portis.
To somebody.
Brian Wilson. Shout out.
18 years ago, Ratatouille was in theaters.
That's crazy.
18 years ago? That's crazy. Somebody quoted it. What a ridiculous run of movies. 01, Monsters, Inc. 02, Finding Nemo. 04, The Incredibles. 06, Cars. 07, Ratatouille. 08, WALL-E. 09, Up. They were on a heater.
Yeah, they kind of fell off a little bit. My son, he saw Elio or whatever, the new one.
Elio?
Yeah. He said he said he liked it. That's not really saying much, but I guess for a 3-year-old, if he says he likes it, it's good. What if there's like a random athlete generator? I probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, we asked ChatGPT and they were like, meh. Hey, did you know that if I told you to guess how many years ago Ratatouille was in theaters, what would your guess be? Huh? 25. Are you just trying to pick a big number because you know it's a big number? 18.
No, no. My nephew, who is 19 right now, he loved that movie when he was like 4 years old, and it was adorable because I would hang out with him and he would just look at me and be like, anyone can cook. And I'd be like, no, anyone can't cook. That's a lie. Anyways, Albert Bell.
Ooh, okay. We were trying to hope there's a random cup generator, a random athlete generator, but I told them we asked ChatGPT and they sucked.
Was it remember? Jason Williams? White chocolate.
Too good. Way too good.
Hey, yeah, like he's got a following.
We got to talk like Grievous Vasquez, you know?
That's a good one.
Of course it is.
I used to have a Grievous Vasquez shirt, and at the time, apparently I looked like him because I had very short hair and I had the beard, and I used to wear the shirt. It was like a cartoonized version of him, and I would walk around and people were like, is that you on your shirt? I'm like, no. I'm a fucking Pelicans fan, buddy. This is Grievous Vasquez. Assist king. You know, there's a time when there were like 3 people in the NBA that had like so many assists, so many points, and so many rebounds. It was him, LeBron James, and some other guy. But yeah.
Wow.
Legend.
Shout out LeBron. Fuck LeBron. This website has a lot of distractions. This is Barstool Sports. I'm trying to random athlete.
God. Is this an athlete page or just ass? And apparently not ass.
Wow. There's a NASCAR driver and his name was Dick Trickle.
I knew that.
Pretty good. There's also, what's the guy of tires? NASCAR driver. Ron.
What's his name?
As soon as he popped up, I was like, oh, it's Ron White. But his name on the show is Ronald
Tater
something.
Salad. Was it Ron White? Ron Tater Salad White?
My dad had a CD, like Ron White Tater Salad CD that he used to play all the time in his truck. I was like, more power to
I didn't even connect the dots that was the same guy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Shout out Ron White.
You were drunk in public. No, I was drunk in the bar. You threw me in public.
Was the
White Collar Comedy Tour?
Yeah.
Or
Jeff Foxworthy.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Ingvo.
Yep.
It's a lot of like I was telling him, there's people's definition of obscure athletes definitely vary. Shout out Brett Favre. He's on this list.
I just love that Brett Favre liked a comment by Dave. Can we talk about that?
So random.
I need to know.
Do you think the actual Brett Favre saw it? Or do you think it was like...
Or does he have... It's his...
Are we being serious here? Brett Favre is too old and too small-minded to have someone running his social media.
It's his official account. So it was definitely... That was the first thing I checked because the notification popped up that said, Brett Favre liked your tweet. And then I was like, there's no way it was that one. Because I was like, what was he thinking? Like, what was the thought process behind liking that?
He's petty.
You think he just saw his name and was like,
kind of makes me like him. I'm going to be honest with you. You said, fuck Brett Favre. And he said, like. And in my head, I'm like.
It made me happy that he liked it.
I kind of like that he liked it.
It didn't make me angry, though. Like, whatever he was trying to do didn't work.
That's okay. I don't think see, here's the thing. Because this is how I think. If somebody was like, fuck Patty V, and I liked it. This happened with the Tulane people. I liked it, and I killed them with kindness. And it didn't hurt my feelings that they were like, this guy's an asshole. In my head, I was like, hey, buddy, love you. And I just hoped that they would be like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do now.
It made my night that he saw it. And I know he saw it.
Yeah, that's funny.
I love it. It made me so happy.
Yeah.
I was just like, why? Why on earth? But I wish I could go and look at the other things he's liked, but you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I know. I was trying to do it, and I was like, dang. It seems he either
There's also the
replies to
possibility-
anybody.
Elon Musk.
This might be cruel. There's also the possibility that his finger just slipped, right?
He saw it though.
Because
Like-
he's like,
Oh, does he have Parkinson's?
Yeah, he does.
I think he does. Wasn't that the whole thing recently? Was like that was he
His
tried
karma.
to.
That's such a bad joke. I mean, it's a good joke.
I really wasn't trying to make a joke. Like it's a legit possibility, is it not?
To be fair, I made a joke about Kobe dying in a
Right.
helicopter
But
accident earlier.
also, like anybody else, I wouldn't make that joke about. It's Brett Favre. I don't care if I hurt his feelings. You're not gonna make me feel bad for making a joke about Brett Favre. He tried to make me feel bad about the things he did by saying he had Parkinson's. I don't give a shit. That didn't change. That didn't make him be a terrible person. Some would say it's karma.
Yeah.
So, not me. So.
Karma police.
Hmm.
Karma, chameleon. Is that the Karma Police? I don't even know. I'm singing a random song.
You come and go.
The Karma
Come and
Police songs.
Eric Decker, shut up.
I was gonna send that to.
Oh, Karma Police is a song by Radiohead. I knew I messed something up.
I was gonna send the picture of that to my grandma because she also hates Brett Favre, and so does my mom. But then I had to go. I thought about it. I was like, I'm gonna have to go through the whole process of explaining there was another tweet before this, and I did what's called quoting it, and he saw that, and I'd have to explain how Twitter works. And then I also thought she might be upset that I was just on Twitter being like, "Fuck this guy," and I didn't want to. My mom would laugh at it, but I don't know how my grandma would feel about it. So I was like, I chose not to do that.
That's okay.
Because I was like,
You sit her down next time.
I know she feels the same way, but I also just don't know how she would feel about me being like, hey, fuck you. To be fair, if given the opportunity, I would tell him that to his face.
That's fair.
There are some athletes out there that I wouldn't say things to him that I would say on Twitter. He's not one of them.
I am of the minds.
This is the second time a professional athlete has acknowledged me on Twitter. When I told Josh Allen I would have won fantasy football if he wasn't trash, and then he read it on whatever show that was.
Oh, yeah.
That happened.
That's funny.
That one was funnier.
I don't know who's acknowledged me on Twitter. I feel like there's been a few. But
Sean Payton acknowledged me one time, but it was like a positive thing.
Yeah.
Which
My friend had
I don't like that. Cam Jordan a few times, actually.
Tayzonde. The chocolate rain.
Junior Gillette got me one
Some say
time.
drive.
I went.
First of all, no, actually, I can't. Wait till you just talked about not being able to say certain things on Twitter to certain athletes, like you wouldn't say it in person. I don't know if I'm telling Junior Gillette what I was about to say just now, because
didn't he fight like
hit
in
me with a
the?
Yeah. I went.
So did Greg Hardy.
Well, he beat up a woman.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they both beat up a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Hardy did it with his hands, though.
I went to
the fist do the talking.
I went to NOLA Motorsports, and he was there with it was him, Kyrie Fort. Remember that guy?
Oh yeah.
Him, and then there was another guy. I don't know. And we raced them at NOLA Motorsports, and apparently, like the barricades and the grass don't mean anything if you're a professional athlete, because they were literally just cutting through the grass and ramming through everything. So you know, but at the time, everybody still liked Junior Gillette. Remember, because there was a couple seasons where we're like, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy.
That spin move was killer.
Yeah. And so like I think I tweeted out the picture of because they give you a little scorecard after or whatever it was, and it was like where you finished. And I was like, Junior Gillette just tried to run me off the road at NOLA Motorsports. And he replied to me and was like, get out my way or it's a body bag. I was like, oh. Like I thought it was a joke, but then like as time went on, I was like, oh, this guy might actually just be crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He was a cool guy when I met him at the time. Like he sat and had a conversation with us, but
It's not anything related, but the prisoner they finally caught
This guy.
The guy, and then the lady that he stayed at the Airbnb for. They're like, we won't show you your face, and it's like live news, and they're just sitting there like on the lady's face.
Yeah,
and they like.
Oh yeah, they cut off of it as soon as they
cut off, and it's just
like,
it's a still of like her body and her face, and I'm like, you just have her everywhere now.
They went to the camera shot of her as they were asking her if she wanted to be on camera.
She was like, no, and then they pointed the camera down. Like, it's too late.
And they got her off the screen quickly.
I'm like, she's
just there.
She's gone now.
But also,
She's gone.
Can we talk about how we all had the strategy of getting out of town, and like the last one standing was just like down the street,
Crazy, hanging out in Holly Grove.
right?
Proves to you,
Airbnb.
no one goes and looks in Holly Grove. Nobody's
Right.
trying to go to Holly Grove.
It's a situation of there's no chance he just goes right back to where he knew where he was, right?
Was he
Like,
from? Was he?
I
from
don't know. I'm just like, I mean, he's from the city, right? So I'm like, you would assume there's no way they just stay here because we all had the thought process of get the fuck
I
out.
thought he was gone. I saw it like 3 days ago, and I was like, damn, there was 2 of them still.
He
and
did.
I was
They
like,
got one
He's
left.
just, like people have told me since he got out that it's not the first time he has escaped.
It's like his 5th time
Yeah.
escaping.
So but
Which
like
is crazy.
he was doing all the things you would think you shouldn't do. Like he was posting videos of himself, and they were like at the house. Like they found out where he was like an hour later, and he was gone. So I'm like, this guy, I don't know
I
how
think
he's.
his dad had was close with, I don't know if it was Master P or somebody in like Wayne's circle. His dad was close with, so maybe that's why he was able to kind of stick around locally as best as he could.
Yeah, I'm just like maybe we were wrong. Like ultimately, it didn't work because he got caught. But like maybe our strategy is wrong.
well, none of them left. To be fair, we don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, maybe that one guy's still
there is
outstanding.
one left standing.
Maybe he did leave,
But
maybe
nobody's heard from him. I feel like he's doing it the right way.
Maybe he's in Mexico.
Yeah, his father was best friends with Lil Wayne's dad. Best friends with Rabbit.
I don't mean that. Oh, Rabbit was Wayne's dad? Am I crazy?
What he says.
I don't feel like. So my first question was going to be, and I did not mean to make this any type of way, does Wayne know his father? I don't feel like Rabbit is Wayne's dad. I thought that was like a rap thing where he was like, that's, I mean, him and Baby
Maybe
were,
his like, his father figure that raised him.
okay.
I don't think he knew his dad either. I think he raps about it like in.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I didn't all right.
I don't know.
Big ups.
Big ups to them. Fun fact.
White What?
We feel like white people right now.
Alex
Also a white person.
got taught by the same person who taught Lil Wayne.
I don't know.
Called
that.
what?
What? Yeah.
School.
Oh. It's like what? Hey, what do we teach?
Cool.
Good for her,
Nice.
I guess.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Mm.
White people. Okay. So like people bring things up, right? And as a human being, you want to connect with them. And sometimes you're like, oh, I also have a story. And you just say it. And then it's like, that probably did not connect the way I thought it was going to.
I feel like that happens all the time here. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying on the podcast alone. Like, I feel like I've done it.
Yeah, like when Aaron was like, hey, do you guys ever use the same letter for the same word all the time? No?
Nope.
No, actually.
That's why I said it was just little notes.
We should probably
Not actual
start
topics.
responding like that, though. Like, no. And just let that be.
Yeah, and just let it sit like, all right,
But
next.
you know how you can tell when we don't? When you bring something up and I'm like, yo, this happened to me? And it's just a totally different topic.
Yeah.
But it would be funnier
Yeah.
if we would just be like, no, dude. And then move on.
I would play with it too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, next.
Because sometimes topics will come up and I'll know that's why it happened, but I'll bring something up and then like you will be like, yeah, well, this thing. And I'll be like, fuck. Okay. Didn't connect at all. Wish we would have acknowledged it at least.
Oh, man.
Speaking of,
Who can
Fear
we call
Factor's
at
coming
11?
back.
Who can we call at 11:30 just to have a conversation?
On a,
with?
not
On
many
a-
people on a
on
Sunday
11:30
would work
on a
the next day
Sunday.
for most people.
Well, ooh, let me look through my phone.
What's Russ doing? Russ is always
Rolodex.
willing to talk.
Johnny Knoxville is hosting
Oh, my
the new
phone's
Fear
dead.
Factor.
I got nothing.
Perfect host.
Are we Fear Factor fans? Like, is that a
I
thing?
like Fear Factor.
You like eating cockroaches
Yeah.
or just cock?
Yeah. I like cockroaches. Oh, the roaches.
The roaches. I don't know. I don't think I'm itching for a fear factor anymore.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Ooh, Dana White? No, not Dana White. Joe Rogan. That's the last one.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
good.
just like, whatever.
Yeah. No, I think I only watched it like twice. And one time was like scorpions and cockroaches in a tank. And they're like, put your head in here. And I was like, fuck no. And the other time was like, you're going to get sunk with a bus and have to unlock yourself from this tank of water. And I'm like, why? No.
We need I'm surprised it's not one of the shows that we haven't gotten like a documentary on, like behind the scenes of Fear Factor.
Yeah, this person died.
Like there's got to be some crazy shit.
They coded for 10 minutes.
Like, because the options are either like someone had some terrible like after effects from it, or it's all not real, and that's a documentary.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That feels like there should be a Fear Factor documentary. Speaking of documentaries, why? I don't know if you noticed this, because I'm a big documentary person. Like I like a good documentary.
So I want to hear this, I promise you, but I want to cut you off and explain what I hear when I hear documentary. As a youngin', I had a friend that would talk about hooers and pornography, and they would say documentary in the place of pornography. So every time you say, man, I love documentaries. Let me tell you about documentaries. In my head, I hear pornography and I'm like, okay, yeah, tell me about it, buddy. Continue.
That's funny. I like that. No, I can't even say it. But why is it that all these streaming platforms put out the same a documentary about the same topics at the same time? Have you noticed this? So
just like slightly different.
Yeah. Or like it's the same exact story, but like they got one person, but then these people got somebody else. But it's always at the same time. Like, so they had the sub that went down to see the Titanic
implode.
They had like 2 or 3 of those come out at the same time. Like, is it just like the rights to something that just all of a sudden it's okay to talk about, and these people have had these documentaries made and they're like, okay, now we can put it out? Or is it like, I don't know. Why does that happen? There's another one was like the Gilgo murders or something like that. It was like a city in Long Island or beach in Long Island where they just kept finding bodies in the marsh or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it turns out it was the same guy over 30 years. And it's like they had one on Netflix and there was another one on like Peacock. Mm-hmm. And the one on Peacock had the wife of the guy. And because they said some of the murders happened in his house and she had no idea. He was like he would send his family on vacation and he'd meet him up there later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd he work?
It was actually part of the thing. He was an architect because they were like, he would say he was an architect, but he had like the most rundown house on the block. And it was apparently a neighborhood where they were like, people really kept up with their houses. So nobody liked him. But it was like his childhood home and he stayed in it. He was abused as a child, but stayed in the house as an adult. It was weird. It was a whole situation.
Very dark.
It's a very interesting documentary. But my question is like, why do we, like, I don't hate it because I will watch both, but I don't understand why everybody's like, we're going to make this. I just don't understand how it happens.
If it's popular enough, I feel like,
but like, that's
you're gonna
the
hit
most
a Google search and actually
that's
click
like the
on
most
something.
obscure thing. Like the sub one, I get because that was popular recently. So it's like, but this random thing, we just all of a sudden made a documentary about the same thing, or somebody had to have talk and be like, hey, Peacock's making a documentary. We got to make a documentary. Who can we get that they don't have? Like, is that how those conversations go?
Maybe. I think we live in a simulation.
Maybe.
Netflix had a documentary about the poop cruise.
I saw that. I didn't see it, but I saw that it exists.
They cleaned everything out and then just renamed it. And people were freaking out because they're like, I took this cruise a few weeks after they had scrubbed everything and we kept smelling stuff, but everyone didn't know what it was.
Gross.
Pooping and peeing everywhere.
Oh, is that the cruise that got stuck?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they had no electricity, and so the toilet stopped working. So then people just had to shit and piss.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one. I saw the COVID cruise one where the people were on the cruise.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let them off.
Yeah, as COVID was like starting to run rampant, and they were like, "You guys are stuck."
The poop cruise, they got stuck too, though.
Yeah.
Like because of the electrical problems, like the ship couldn't move.
That ship went into the Alabama dock. Like I was going to see my mom in Alabama, and we saw the ship coming into the dock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Bringing COVID or
No, the poop one.
poop.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
You guys like documentaries?
I love documentaries.
Do you?
I love a good documentary.
Like a specific type or just like any documentary?
Well,
It depends.
I'm telling you, man, my brain went left.
I love that. That's not what I was thinking, but it certainly applies.
Well, the thing was, we would be at work
Oh.
and we would joke because we worked
Right.
in baseball and we were joking about things. We would just jokey jokes. And we would just, always those types of questions. Hey, I love a good documentary. Rach, you ever watch documentaries? And it spills over into, there's other things too. I'll share a little background and I'm going to talk about documentaries, I swear. There's one more joke. Mountain climbers, rock climbers, became a euphemism for people that had a large penis.
I like that.
I don't know how. It just did.
Well, see, now we're just in a rabbit hole. Did you have like a code word when you were like dating as a younger person, like in high school or something? Like if you were around friends, but like you wanted to talk to your girlfriend, like, hey, we want to go do this. Like, did you have a word that you would say? Because we would, I had one where we would say color. Like, hey, you want to go color? And
That feels
what, you know what I mean?
like
But like,
you would ask your girlfriend that. Hey, you want to go color? Because that feels like
yeah.
everyone knows what's happening.
Well, first off, if a couple just randomly leaves the room at that age, we all just assume
You can
right?
keep some secrecy. If you say, hey, you want to go color? Okay. Okay, Bobby's a little slow. I get it. But I'm just saying.
So documentary.
I do love a good documentary. Like
Yeah,
genuinely. Genuinely. I don't know what kind. Like I like any salacious story. Anything that's, gonna teach me. I like to learn. I like war documentaries. I love
That Katrina one that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I like a good murder mystery.
that's
a good
fun.
murder doc.
Yeah.
So and so went missing. Where were they? I like those. Those are good.
Yeah.
Skip to the last episode. You'll find out everything.
Brother, I hate people that search the end of movies or the end of a show.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Like a documentary is one thing. Like it's out there. Like we know how it ended.
Yeah.
Right. Like that doesn't bother me. I cannot stand when somebody's like, I will Google the end of the show to see if I like how it ends and see if it's worth watching. Like, no, you got to enjoy these people made this in this order. You have to enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride.
It's the same reason I listen to new albums start to finish the first time. You have to. They order the song. These artists put a lot of some of them probably don't give a shit.
Say.
The good artists put their songs in certain orders for certain reasons. You listen to it one time through, and then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Live your life.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with like the murder mystery docs is I get Google search happy. So like I'll be watching the first or second episode. I'm
I
like,
hate you guys.
and I'm like,
I don't
man.
Google the end of it. I'm just
And
gonna
it's
watch.
crazy. How is this person related? And then all of a sudden it tells the whole story. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. This is my
Just-
wife. My wife does this shit
Yes.
where we're watching and it makes me
Can't
even
help
more
it.
mad because we'll be watching it and she'll be like, well, what happens here? And what's going to happen with this? And I'll be like, can you just fucking watch it?
yeah.
And she's like, and I'm like, you
I
fucking
just
stop.
I don't understand why you can't just watch the whole thing and then Google what you want to Google.
Right.
Like
It's
you-
almost like watching
Curiosity
Hey, guess
kills
what?
the cat.
You're watching a show. I can't bet you your questions are going to be answered.
probably.
Like they made this documentary because people had questions. So guess what's probably going to happen in the documentary? They're going to answer the questions.
Also, there's some really stupid documentaries. For example, the Steve McNair documentary.
The Untold series.
Yeah.
Terrible. Everything is told.
Yeah.
We already know this.
Untold. This story you've heard everything about
Yeah.
already. It's
I
not
was-
untold.
I was so excited to see that documentary.
So pissed off.
And it was nothing.
was
It was
mad.
nothing I didn't already know. It started with the Florida team because they did the Florida team too. There wasn't not one mention of anything juicy in that.
No.
It was terrible. I haven't even watched the Brett Favre one because it's the Untold people, and I was like, I was ready for somebody. I heard they don't even talk about the stuff with Southern Miss.
Of course not. Why would they? Why would they? My son wants to go to Southern Miss, and I said, Brett Favre sucks, son. And that was the end of the conversation. He has no idea what I meant.
Maybe The Last Dance just like ruined documentaries because it was so good. Now,
Also during COVID. Did COVID ruin TV? I think COVID ruined TV for me.
I don't know.
In my opinion, there's shows that have come out that I'm like, oh yeah. But ever since COVID, I just do not want to watch anything.
I don't know. I feel like COVID was the last time that everybody was like sitting down and like
Exactly.
waiting for it.
There was
Besides,
shows
like-
where it was like,
besides,
oh, I have
like,
to see
I
this.
don't know. Was there another? There might have been like another season or 2 of Game of Thrones. Like those kind of shows were ending.
That's when I fell apart.
I disagree. I liked it, but that's a
Well,
conversation for
yeah,
another
that's
day.
fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I just think they don't. I think people just don't care about TV the way they used to. But I don't think it's anything to do with COVID. I just think it's the quality of shows has gone.
Was it the writer's strike?
It could have been, but also you had like shows like Apple had a show, the morning show and it was really good first season, and then COVID happened and you had to go 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Same thing with Game of Thrones. You had to go 2 years between things, and you just like lose interest.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that was my point. Like a lot of these shows that maybe people were interested in just died.
Yeah, they just died, or like sometimes I feel like you can tell like half of the second season was filmed. And then COVID hit, and then we had to come back and film the rest of people aren't in the same mind. I feel like you got to be in the same mindset. I'm not an actor, but I would assume you want to be. You're in a mindset when you're doing the acting, and you film for however many months, and then you're out of it. So like, I feel like if you got that gap, like, you could be going through a whole bunch of new shit in life, right? And then you come back and you're like, I'm not as into this. Yeah. I was really into this show 2 years ago.
Kind of sucks.
Then everybody got COVID, and I don't want to do this anymore.
I've been through 2 presidents. Like, this is weird. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
I remember they had that writer strike, and there was a moment everyone was like, "Oh, we're not getting any more films or movies or shows or anything ever again." And then just like, yeah.
But also, to be fair, when they had the writer strike, everybody thought TV was going to go to shit then. They did say it wouldn't happen then. It would be years from now where you would see the effects of it.
And I feel like it's like now.
It's right now.
Like the last year. Like it's
just not true. I mean, there's not those shows that are like, I need to sit down and watch this every week.
No. And I want them to be, I need shows to watch, to be honest with you. Like I'm at a point in my life where I have nothing to do.
Even like the most, HBO never misses on their shows. But even like their big ones, I don't feel like Righteous Gemstones. I didn't feel like I had to be there when it was.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'll catch up.
I also have gotten in this point where like I watch shows for like a season or like a half season, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it, I promise, and then I just never go back. Righteous Gemstones is one.
So like House of Dragons, when it comes out, everybody is still. I think anything Game of Thrones related, people are at the TV at 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Like if you went through, it's another one that every 2 years is going to film, but now they're going to have another Game of Thrones show that is like opposite years.
Okay.
So
it was like that with Squid Game. I feel like, but as soon as Squid Game, you just didn't want. You had to avoid spoilers.
It can't be Netflix.
Didn't the last Squid Game suck though? People don't like the most recent.
Yeah, the last. I heard this season that just came out this past week. Everyone didn't like how it ended.
But a lot of these like biggest shows, all the episodes come out at once. It's just it's not the same.
Stranger Things is the only one I'm still kind of like.
Yeah.
But
people like really that have Apple and like Severance.
I like Severance. I watched 4 episodes on a plane. Yeah. On the fly back. We've all messed up.
That's one. Problem is not that many people have Apple TV.
I'm gonna buy it.
It's really good, man. They got some good shows.
I get home with this baby from the hospital.
You're gonna have a lot of time when you
get you the 3-month trial. It's like $3 a month for the first.
I already had it before, and they don't offer me trials anymore because I was gonna do that because I wanted to finish Severance after I got back.
Also, we talked about a couple weeks ago, like not being able to share your Apple thing. I did it with my uncle asked me about it, so I Googled it and tried to figure it out. You can add up to 6 people to your family.
Oh, really?
Just anybody.
I didn't know that.
So I added him to my family. And he has like my Apple Music on his phone, but he's like, I don't use that. So
why don't you add me to your family?
You're gonna have all my Apple Music and everything.
Shit. Hey. I'll stop paying for it.
I don't even know how much I pay for all my stuff.
I pay for Apple Music right now.
I pay for Apple One, so it's like $30-something a month.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Can I log in with my Apple?
It is. ID? It just sends you an invite to join my family, and you sign in with your Apple ID, and
love it.
That's it. I wish it would give me the option to only give you like access to Apple TV. Then you wouldn't have to worry about all the other bullshit.
Yeah.
But
I'd like that better, but that's fine.
Yeah. So I learned that.
Learned it.
But yeah, I miss good must watch TV.
I have so many topics on my phone and it's dead. So upset.
That's upsetting. We're probably running out of time here.
Oh, I mean, we're all running out of time.
It is.
Life ends eventually.
That's deep. She said.
Just saying.
Mm.
I got no more pee-pee to give.
I'm all out of
Sorry,
pee-pee.
I just saw that the other day again. Made me laugh. Head surgery. He's 10 inches now. Did you know that?
Wow.
I know. Jeez, Louise. How do you go from 3 to 10?
Wow. Money.
That's what
A lot to
I watched. I actually finally saw the interview and I was like, I chuckled because he was like, I'm all out of pee-pee. And I was like, I remember that. And he was like, yeah, I got in that. He was like, apparently first of all, we're talking about Chad Ochocinco, if anybody's curious. He was on the Stephen A. Smith show. He was all out of pee-pee in high school. Girl was like, go deeper. He was like, I can't. I got no more to give. Apparently he started doing amateur porn, amateur documentaries. I'm just going to call them documentaries now forever. And
Coloring books?
Coloring books. Sure, that too. That's another good one. Yeah, and apparently he went and had surgery. And, he said it was a 15-minute surgery. And he went from 3 inches to 10. And I'm like, I feel like that's a lie. I feel like you're lying. I don't believe you. This is not a thing.
You got a lot of hidden pee-pee, I heard.
Also, I don't know if I would want 10 inches. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that's...
Something like he talked about earlier. There's no such thing as a lot of a good thing.